This story is unlike any other I have previously told. This place has taken the lives of more than 200 divers, but why do they keep coming back? The Blue Hole, a diving site located in Dahab, Egypt, has earned the nickname Diver Cemetery due to the many horrifying diving fatalities that have occurred there. Despite the ominous name, the site remains popular with divers who are drawn to the challenge of exploring its depths. Many divers are fascinated by the mysteries of the Blue Hole and are eager to experience it for themselves, even though it has gained a reputation as a potentially dangerous place. The Blue Hole is a well-known diving and snorkeling site located in Dahab, Egypt. It is particularly popular with divers who are looking to test their skills in the deep sinkhole, which reaches a maximum depth of 394 feet underwater. Despite its reputation as a potentially hazardous site, with an estimated 130 to 200 diving deaths having occurred there in recent years, divers continue to visit the Blue Hole in search of adventure. The site includes several features, including a shallow opening called the Saddle, a tunnel known as the Arc, and numerous reefs and coral. The Blue Hole was first explored using modern scuba diving techniques in 1968, and it has been a popular recreational site for divers since 1982. Divers typically entered the Blue Hole through a narrow cave known as El Bells and then followed the shore walls to the open ocean, exiting via the Saddle. Alternatively, they can dive directly into the hole at the Saddle and explore the Arch. In April 2000, Yuri Lipski, a 22-year-old experienced and qualified scuba diver, embarked on a dive at the Blue Hole in Dahab, Egypt. Despite being familiar with the challenges of diving at this site, Yuri was confident in his abilities and had a desire to push the limits, including by attempting the dangerous bounce dive, which involves quickly descending and ascending again and can lead to decompression sickness if not done properly. However, the Blue Hole and its features, such as the Arc, require not only experience but also specialized technical diving skills and equipment to navigate safely. Are you ready for the ultimate underwater adventure? Hit that subscribe button and join us on this wild dive. Many divers, like Yuri Lipski, underestimate the specialized training and technical knowledge required for a dive as challenging as the Blue Hole Arch. Before his dive, Yuri met with Tarek Omar, a technical diver who advised him that he needed to undergo 2 weeks of training before attempting the Arch. However, Yuri only had a weekend in Dahab and was determined to dive in the Blue Hole regardless of his level of experience and certification. Despite searching for local instructors who could accompany him, Yuri was unable to find anyone willing to dive with him due to his lack of experience. As a result, Yuri decided to go diving on his own. On April 28, 2000, equipped with a single air cylinder, a camera, and a weight belt, he began his descent into the Blue Hole cave. As he was descending, everything seemed fine at first, but soon he realized that he was going down too quickly. He tried to use his buoyancy control device to slow his descent, but it didn't work. He suspected that the problem was that the device was not properly indicating his weight due to a malfunction, and that the camera he had attached to his helmet may have also added additional weight and thrown off his balance. Despite his efforts, he continued to plummet and realized that the fatal consequences were increasing significantly with each foot he descended. Yuri sank to a deeper critical depth than he had planned, and the amount of nitrogen in his tank began to decrease, causing nitrogen to build up in his body. He quickly reached a depth of 262 feet, at which point divers are at risk for nitrogen narcosis. This is a condition that occurs when the pressure of nitrogen increases and can cause hallucinations, confusion, impaired judgment, and overconfidence. According to the video footage, Yuri seemed to lose his grip and panicked, possibly causing him to overinflate his buoyancy control device, leading to a blowout and loss of control over his buoyancy and position. This suggests that there was a problem with Yuri's buoyancy control device, as a blowout should not have occurred. Additionally, at depths beyond 213 feet, the increased pressure of oxygen can become toxic to the central nervous system, leading to oxygen toxicity or oxygen poisoning, which can cause difficulty breathing, dizziness, and seizures. Technical divers are aware of this risk and take multiple gas tanks to mitigate the effects of narcosis. However, in Yuri's case, he was using a single cylinder containing a mixture of nitrogen and oxygen rather than a blend of oxygen, nitrogen, and helium known as Trimax Prime Mix, which is often used to reduce the risk of narcosis due to its lower nitrogen content. In this video, all that can be heard is Yuri struggling to breathe before everything goes black. This went on for about 5 minutes, during which Yuri could be heard screaming. His breathing became more rapid and shallow, and he tried to remove his gear because the weight was pulling him down. Despite his efforts to remove his gear in a final attempt to resurface, he had descended too deep, and the weight of the waters made it impossible for him to rise to the surface. It is possible that he panicked and accidentally removed his regulator, causing the camera attached to his helmet to fall to the ground and face downward. As Yuri struggled and kicked, he stirred up dirt until he eventually stopped moving. The video footage from his camera on his helmet showed that there was no supernatural cause for the deaths that had occurred in the Blue Cave, and that Yuri's death was a result of the challenges he faced during the dive. Yuri's dive exceeded the limits of his technical expertise. When his body was recovered, the camera attached to his helmet was still intact, and the video footage captured the final 7 minutes of his dive, including the moment when he removed his regulator. The day after the incident, Yuri's family begged Tarek, a renowned deep water diver, to help them recover his body from the blue hole. In interviews, Tarek has stated that he has lost count of the number of bodies he has recovered from the blue hole, but estimates that the total easily exceeds 100. All the divers involved in the incident were experienced, but they underestimated the risks associated with diving in the blue hole. Tarek eventually found Yuri's body at the depth of around 302 feet. 2 days later, he returned Yuri's belongings to his grieving mother, along with the still functioning camera. The video captured on the helmet camera showed Yuri's face and depicted his distress as he struggled to survive in the deep water. He had started the dive as a normal expedition, but ended up in a dire situation that ultimately led to his death. The events leading up to Yuri's death demonstrate that his overconfidence played a significant role in his demise. He neglected to properly check that his buoyancy control device was functioning and dove without the required training or a diving partner. The camera attached to his helmet added extra weight, contributing to his unfortunate demise.